So mental health is a huge topic. I think it's right we just dive straight into it and just ask you guys kind of what you think mental health is and get your thoughts on it.
So it's like being in a good place mentally or bad. So
Okay.
Like it's either one.
Okay, so you talk about being in a good place. Go on then, explain what you mean by being in a good place.
It's like a good place means like you're happy like what you're doing, or a bad place means like you're not happy with yourself.
Okay, just with yourself or just...
Or like anything really.
Okay, yeah, good point. Anyone want to expand on what they think mental health is? And by the way, there's no right or wrong answers with this.
It's your well-being, isn't it? Like how you feel in yourself, like your attitude toward things, because your attitude can change if your mental health is bad or good. It's all in like how you feel yourself. Nobody can really tell you it's right or wrong, or how you feeling is wrong or right.
Yeah, great, really well put. I like
Your
it.
attitude towards things.
Attitude toward things. Jayden, I like that. So go on, expand on that when you say attitude towards.
If you have a negative attitude towards most things, then you're most likely to have like not a very good mental health.
Okay. No, I like that. For me, so we've all got our physical health, right? So whether I've like bruised my arm or I've cut myself or anything you can see physical, we've got our physical health. Everyone's got that, and everyone's also got their mental health. So the word mental health or the sentence mental health doesn't mean a negative thing. It's just your mental health, right? So your well-being, like you said, how you feel in yourself and kind of your attitude, you've summed it up all brilliantly, that's our mental health. Now, the difference with mental health and physical health is if I've got a broken arm, bruised arm, broken collarbone, you can see that. Yeah, we can all see that I've got a physical injury. The issue with mental health, or when we've got a poor mental health, is that it's invisible. You can't see it. And there's been loads of initiatives recently. Okay, so there's one in November. I've nearly given the title away. Does anyone know what it's called?
Movember.
Perfect. Go on, Jayden. What's Movember all about?
Where men like shave the rest all their beard except from their mustache.
Yeah.
To like, what's the word, like to
Bring awareness.
Yeah, to men's mental health.
Absolutely, yeah. So again, that's focused on men's mental health. Is there any others that anyone's aware of? So we did one last month, World Mental Health Awareness Day. And again, that's the fact that we're trying to, as a society, be more accepting and shout from the rooftops about what mental health is. Because statistics will say, I think 1 in 8 of us will experience some form of mental health concern or problem or issue. And therefore, if we as society and young people in school speak about it and are aware about it, that's going to be quite good in terms of when you guys are obviously citizens later on in life. Movember's a really important one because men's mental health is focused on at the minute under a microscope because there's a little bit of an epidemic going on. Because I think gender stereotypes and gender norms are quite different in terms of mental health and well-being compared to men. So what do you think about that?
It comes across as a stereotype that it's weak for men to come out and speak about their mental health because they're meant to be these tough people, like be like kind of perfect in a way, like have no problems. So it kind of puts a downer on men talking about their mental health because they feel like people are going to judge them, or like they're going to think, well, you're a man, so you shouldn't feel like this. Like, and it's almost based on physical health. Like, you gotta look the best to be kind of in like a man, but the mental health isn't very looked upon. But with like a female, they find it quite easy sometimes to speak about the mental health because it's more, people talk about women's mental health more than men's.
Yeah, and why is that?
I think it's just stereotypes because of like men are meant to be these tough people who have no problems or are like meant to be the provider, where women are more fragile, like made to feel more fragile, more caring, so they're meant to, apparently, to most people have more issues.
It's a really, really powerful point, Millie, and I think I'd agree that maybe in girls' groups and girls' settings that stereotypically they can share their feelings a bit easier and are more open towards their girlfriends and in their friendship groups. Whereas I think as males and boys, there's probably less of a accepting society where you can share how you feel. Because like you said correctly, there's an unfair stereotype that you can't be seen to be weak because you are the masculine side of society, which is wrong. And again, statistics follow this. So 40% of men say that they wouldn't share their feelings about their ill mental health. So when they are feeling at a point where they're not doing very well, nearly 50% say they wouldn't speak about it, which is frightening because, again, statistics will say that the rate of suicide between 20 and 45 is on the rise and still rising. So it's something that November is really powerful with, because there needs to be something done with men talking about it. Jayden, what do you think about it? What are your thoughts on kind of, as a young man yourself, in year 10, a basketball player, what do you feel about kind of mental health and how you feel?
I think looking after your physical would help looking after your mental as well.
Okay.
Because especially for me, for example, when I'm playing basketball and I'm training, I feel myself like happier than when I'm not. And like, I think like if I look at myself and I say, okay, I do a lot of physical exercises, I do a lot of homework, my grades are good, I think I'm gonna feel better than if I just sit around all day, I don't do homework, my grades aren't good, and I just don't have anything going for me.
So that supports you in terms of your mental health and making yourself feel better mentally.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you'd be happy to share how you feel with your friendship group or people at home or in school?
My friendship group, like, they're really understanding. I feel like it would be easy to talk to them, but we don't really talk about our problems that much. I don't know why that is. Usually we're all laughing anyway. It's usually like a good atmosphere. Okay. So that's probably why.
Would you feel comfortable enough to talk to them?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Good. That's good. And I think it's important for us to be able to feel like that. What would you do to support someone in your friendship group who came to you and said, you know what, Jayden, Millie, Ruby, I just don't feel great. I'm just not feeling great in myself. What advice or support could you give them?
Probably just trying to make them feel comfortable talking to me about how they feel and what they need to get off their chest.
So giving that someone that you're there to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
I just think time's the most important thing. It takes nothing to just listen to someone. Sometimes you don't even have to give them an answer. Sometimes just sitting there, just not speaking and let them just talk about what they need to talk about helps a bunch, and just giving them a hug sometimes is all they need.
That's such a powerful thing, again, Millie, is that giving someone your time is so priceless, isn't it? Giving up your time in life to just go, I will listen to you, is really important. And if you can imagine, we're a society where we are accepting to listen to everyone else, regardless of who they are, regardless of gender, regardless of anything. I will listen to you if you've got an issue. That is a really, really good place to be as a society. And if young people have that approach towards mental health, then it shows me a really good sign for the future. What do you think the biggest strains on young people's mental health are in society at the minute?
Probably school.
Okay, go on.
'Cause,
Expand, Ruby.
When you're in school, you just feel like you have to be perfect around everyone. Like,
Okay.
You've got to get the best grades, just always be happy and all
So
that.
pressure.
Yeah, you
Right,
have a lot
okay.
of pressure in school.
Yeah, and how? So then, how does that affect then how you feel?
Because if you're always being perfect around everyone, there's no space to make mistakes. Like, you need to make mistakes to be happy, really.
Absolutely, yeah. Not being afraid to fail in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think sometimes just family life can have a big strain on your mental health, especially if you don't have the support of family or support of friends. You can feel quite lonely. So I feel like that can have a really big strain on like people's mental state in like a good and a bad way. Because sometimes some people like to heal on their own. Some people don't like talking. But I feel like always having that support there, just to know if they need to talk, they can talk, can help. So I feel like family stuff can always have a big effect.
Okay, yeah. So, and it's the stuff that not a lot of people see, is it? You know, you can see
Yeah.
someone in school every day, but you have no idea what's going on behind.
Closed doors.
Yeah, and exactly, and away from school.
I think social media, because it can like take up a lot of your time, and you're like kind of taking yourself away from your reality, and you're like looking more at other people's reality. So I don't think that could have a positive effect on your mental health.
No, I completely agree. A really, really valid point. And we spoke before about how prevalent social media is and online stuff, and how we see other things that can definitely then be ingested as how we feel and how we kind of live our life and how we are. So Jayden mentioned before about what he does for his own mental health, and he spoke about sport and being active and staying on top of homework and keeping a good schedule. What about you two? What do you do to try and look after yourself and make yourself feel good?
I'll probably just like try and get things off my chest, like talking to my mum or my friends, just trying to get things out so I'm not bottling it up.
Absolutely. Yeah, really, really good point. There's only so much we can keep things in.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of where the statistics are saying that if we aren't a talking society and we aren't accepting to listen and talk, there's only so much we can keep in before a crisis happens.
Yeah.
So being that person who wants to or does share is really good.
I think work, like me working, does help a lot. So like getting me out doing something I enjoy doing. Also earning the money is like really rewarding to do as well. And then I have Ruby, so like that's a big support. And
Friends.
And I have my mum and stuff like that. So I think just that big bubble of like support is really helpful.
A support network.
Yeah.
Yeah, which not everyone has, but support networks are really important. So I'm coming to you three, okay, as really, really personable and inspirational young people today. I'm going to ask you some advice that you would give other people in regards to looking after and supporting their mental health, not just right now as year 10s, in terms of if you're giving the advice to year 10, but for them to take with them for later in life.
I'm going to say find a passion, because if you find a passion and you find something that you want to do later in life, you have something to look forward to and something to work towards. And I think that you will build a strong mental health to be able to get there.
Okay, so finding something you enjoy and exploring that and having fulfillment and enjoyment in life.
Yeah.
I like it.
Just like support yourself, and it's all right not to be okay all the time. Like if you feel down, that's normal. Don't try and be perfect all the time and put too much pressure on yourself.
I really like that. It's okay not to be okay.
I would probably say like talk about how you feel, because like even sometimes you want to bottle it up, but it's worse to bottle it up because then something might happen to you and it might just go in the wrong direction.
Anything you'd like to add on the topic of mental health? Anything else you feel like you might have wrote down that you want to share?
Just
Anything
don't be someone you're not. Just don't be someone you're not. Just be yourself, like you're perfect the way you are. You don't need to change for anybody or like fit a beauty standard or fit like a fitness standard. You just you.
I like it. A really nice end to it. A nice positive thing, because we want these messages to be powerful and positive and inspirational. And I think, in all honesty, if we've got young people like you who are going to be our next generation, who have this outlook on society, who are going to be not just saying it but living it, yeah, and embodying that kind of accepting culture and listening and sharing advice and being there for others and looking out for it from all the topics, whether it's social media kindness, whether it's anti-bullying, it's mental health, they all kind of come together, don't they, in one big circle. And if a school like GA have got you as year 10s, then they're onto something really good.